Alrighty, guys, we are live right here. I'm setting up the show, and I'll wait to hit record until I feel pretty good about where we're set up. But simple show. We're going to talk about the MVP race. I want to talk some of the best defenders in basketball right now, and then just the season expectations for the NBA. Think it's pretty easy. It's like that, and we'll just go from there. But I want to hear what do you guys think of Max Strus hitting that game winner last night? I think Cleveland Cavaliers, that was a good game. With the Dallas Mavericks, are they still the hottest team? Timberwolves, Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert, their defensive philosophy. A few things, but that's pretty much what we'll get into today. Nothing crazy. And again, we're as long as it's me or me and like Henry or whoever, it's not a full show. I'm thinking about going shorter on the non-full shows. It's just harder to bring up, a bunch of topics that everybody's invested in when not everybody's on the show. So we're just gonna start going with whatever feels natural in terms. And but besides that, we'll show will continue. It will continue to go on. Yay. I'm also like just doing the tags. So who played last night? We had sometimes when you do like tags and stuff like that, it's just kind of annoying, but it's how you get views to this video. I'm so close to being able to write without needing the sign or like that look, but some I still fuck up sometimes. Moral of the story. Moral of the story is I still not great at it, but better than the average folk. All right, we're almost done setting up the show. Thank you for having the patience. Let's find a picture of Max Strus. That was an insane three by Max Strus last night, by the way. Didn't expect him to hit that. Well, there's something in my orange juice. Black. There we go. There we go. There we go. I don't know what it was, but we got it, man. We got it. All right, we'll kick off the show right now. Everyone who's been in the pregame party, what up? Thank you for kicking it with us to start your morning. And we hope to make it worthy of your time. So let's get right into it and let's talk some basketball. Nothing crazy. We'll read the headlines and go from there. But let me just make sure we have our thumbnail. That is something that I need to do. I got a lot to do today. I am like not looking forward to what I have to do today at all. That's definitely not the picture I wanted. Uh, one was at 9:02 a.m. Right. Where is this? It's in downloads. Downloads means it's in my documents folder. Oh, downloads folder. Just not popping up. Found it though. There we go. We got ourselves a description. We got ourselves everything. All righty. Get ahead and start doing these rumors. So we're hearing that Joel Embiid is potentially going to be returning in late March. We're hearing that he doesn't have a fixed timeline yet, but the Philadelphia 76ers are hoping he'll return before the end of the regular season. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski says there's some hope for Joel Embiid to return in late March. The Sixers believe that Embiid could give him enough time to round into form ahead of the 2024 NBA playoffs. Wojnarowski also reported that Philadelphia is about a week away from getting a timeline of Embiid's eventual return. The reigning MVP was injured January 30th in a game against the Golden State Warriors. He missed the 76ers last 12 games, and during that stretch, Philadelphia has gone 4-8. And in the NBA standings, they are currently placed at the sixth seed, which they're basically a game ahead, like half a game ahead of the Magic and the Pacers. which gives them pretty good cushion because the next team is the Bulls, which are 6 games behind them. So I don't I mean, basically, they're trying to keep themselves out of the plan. Can they do it? Maybe. I don't think it's really that important. Now, Lonzo Ball still unable to sprint during knee rehab. Rehab. We heard a month ago that he was starting to run. Now, from Joe Cowley of the Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago Bulls coach Billy Donovan isn't ready to say Lonzo Ball has suffered a setback in his rehab from a knee injury. But Donovan did not paint a pretty picture, which I think we can all agree that the Lonzo Ball situation has not been pretty. Last we knew that he got a knee debridement, and if you guys are like me and have been aware of knee debridements, it's the same thing that killed Amari Stoudemire's career. If you look, Stoudemire had that knee debridement after the first year, second year with the Knicks, and since then if you guys look at his career stats and minutes, everything went downhill from the moment he got the knee debridement, and he was just never the same player ever again. So the fear is because the knee debridement is they peel your knee back open and they go down to the bone. It's like not an ideal procedure at all. It's like really bad. It's most of the time it's you get a knee debridement when your career's over. Like Brandon Roy's another guy who had perennial knee debridement. So I know Lonzo Ball, we're hearing, is still unable to sprint during his knee rehab from the knee debridement. And Billy Donovan isn't painting a positive picture about where Ball is, as he shared that Lonzo Ball cannot run. Quote, I don't know if he's stuck. He's doing some shooting, some running, some jumping. He hasn't done any sprinting yet that I know of. End quote. Donovan said. Donovan was asked if that's a setback, and he stopped short of calling it that. Quote, they talked about that, and sprinting was kind of a goal, a set point. I do think the one thing that has been a priority right now, so he does not get set back, is he needs to develop more strength in his leg. Because of him having that surgery and being off his leg so long, he's really able to ramp up. And I think they want him to get to a place physically that relates to his quad strength. I don't want to say it's a hold up, but that's where they wanted him to get to in terms of what he's doing. He feels better, end quote, Donovan said. Ball hasn't played since January 14, 2022, over 2 years now. And the guard is missing, the entire year this year, missed the entire year last year, missed the second half of the 21 to 22 season. That means the next chance for Ball to play will be almost 3 years from his last appearance. And it's really sad. It's really sad. I think history has shown players have come back from knee debridement. Nobody has had a long career. I mean, Lonzo Ball, hypothetically, because of his age, could play another 10 years because of his age. But because of his knee debridement, I mean, we'd be lucky if he gets 5 years after this. That's kind of the sad realization that, if you are a Lonzo Ball fan, you need to understand that this guy, I mean, at this point, Sean Livingston's injury wasn't as bad as Lonzo. So T's and P's to the guy. Hopefully everything goes out. Now, Henry, I posted yesterday what I was telling you I was making was, so the NBA is investigating whether offense needs to be throttled. We talked about this last night. I ended up, because it went from, since Adam Silver took over 105 points per possessions, now it's 115 point per 100 possessions. Obviously, teams are more talented, and teams are prioritizing more efficient shot selections than they did in the past, which is 3-point shots and shots at the rim, which is going to lead to more points and a higher pace. I made a TikTok that like low-key has gone viral, and a lot of people from, let me see, I just want to pull up the top comments in terms of likes. All right. From what I'm seeing is everybody wants to bring hand check back, and yeah, bring back hand check is what everybody wants. They're up in the air about defensive no 3 second because it would make Rudy Gobert and Wemby OP. A lot of people said go back to the old shot clock where when you got the ball back, instead of 14 seconds, it goes to 24 seconds. Take fouls, people were up like in the air. Some people were for it. Some were like, it doesn't really make a difference. It would just ruin fast breaks, which is true. Hand checks were ones I know hand checks, what everybody was saying should be brought back. Everybody did say that once the ball strikes the rim, any player can play it. It should be brought back. Um, Another one is that a lot of people agreed with was if the baller initiates contact with a defense player, that should be an offensive foul. And then yeah, the only one that I think people really some people like the 3 second rule, but a lot of people were just like they didn't want the 3 seconds just because like it'd be like you have a goalie, which is true if you're having all those tall dudes. But yeah, no one liked increasing the foul limits. I really don't see. But yeah, what are your thoughts on those?
My my first takeaway, the one that intrigued me most was fuck. What was the one you said before defensive 3 second?
Bring back hand checks?
No. Oh, offensive fouls on offensive players initiating contact. What
Uh,
I really want to see is when offensive players are initiating contact, even if the defensive player isn't totally upright. I just want to see more no calls there. I want to see more no calls when dudes are slashing to the basket and you have
yeah, it
like
says
middling
offensive
contact like
foul
that.
or no calls.
Yeah, I want to have way more no calls there. I also would like to see a slightly smaller restricted area.
What do you mean?
Like I would like more. Wait, I want charges to take place slightly. Wait,
Slightly what? Yeah,
further from the basket. So I think I want a slightly
nah.
larger restricted area.
So I'll show you
No,
this.
yeah, I want a slightly smaller restricted area. But what do you? First off, my other point about I want more no calls there is my main point of what you said.
I I think personally, I think the restrictor area is fine. If anything, I would just change the floor design to mimic more the FIBA court. If you wanted a different restricted area, I think the FIBA courts, I'll show you. This is what the FIBA court looks like right here. Their box is a little different than ours. This is the NBA's on the left, far right's FIBA. If you see the FIBA restricted area is like a little different. It's like I want to say it might be a little bigger.
No, again, well, does the NBA one protrude slightly more? Or do they protrude the same amount?
No, the NBA is the far left. You see the
Right,
NBA.
right. So do they protrude the same amount from the
I don't
basket? It looks like kind of.
I don't know because also the FIBA one looks like it's wider, doesn't it?
Yes. Gosh, maybe
Eh,
slightly. It really just looks like it goes deeper.
yeah. Let's see.
That'd be the only
So
takeaway.
FIBA is all right. Both of them have 16 by 12. Yeah, 16 by 12. Yeah, NBA is the same size,
Yeah,
but
it's tough. It's tough because in that case, I don't want like collisions near the basket. I don't want crazy collisions near the basket. I don't want dudes getting hurt on dunk attempts. But I do want charges to be drawn. I want dudes to have room to set up. I think that would favor the defense.
Mike Vorkunov just wrote an article saying NBA 65 game rules isn't just about awards races and it isn't going anywhere. Basically, alluding to the fact that this was put in place to stop paying people.
Yeah, well, yeah, certainly. I mean, the Pacers are going to save bucks by not having to supermax Tyrese Halliburton, probably.
So, not even a full year into its application, the 65 game rule has been met with criticism. Sorry, let me move the microphone. 65 game
Oh,
credit has been met with criticism for players. Tyrese Halliburton calling it a stupid rule. Draymond Green doesn't like it, nor does Nikola Jokic. I just don't like how it forces players to play even if they're injured if they want to achieve something. There's been pushback to have the rule changed with league believes it's too early for any modification. Top executive says the rule works. Stars are saying it has issues and ask them to make uneasy choices. Grant Williams said the union fought the rule during negotiations before consenting to it, and now they are already looking to alter it. Um, all right. So one high-ranking official said the NBA ultimately agreed to the rule because the CBA package would increase league revenue and future media deals, which is split with the players because it brought the concessions elsewhere in negotiations. Still, officials said the union viewed this rule as an ill-conceived way to address the problem effectively, aggressively enforcing the player participation policy that had already been in place. The official believed that would have been enough. Joe Dumars, the NBA's head of basketball operations, said there was a good amount of back and forth negotiation where to set the cutoff. He said other games play thresholds were considered, but you cannot exact recall the exact numbers. No matter where the number landed, if it was 60 or 55, we probably would still be having this discussion. So in a situation like this, it's always going to affect somebody. The rule is so touchy. The league advocated for it because it impacts everything from the basketball games themselves to the next media deals. This comes up the next negotiation. The NBA has seen an increased reliance on load management over the last decade or so. As team puts them on the bench, they water down nationally televised games, devalue pricey tickets to what have been scheduled to be premium games, and left fans disappointed that they miss out on seeing their top players. The trend has brought the attention to the NBA television partners, and one top network executive who, obviously anonymous, worked for one of the two companies that has a rights deal with the league and reached out to Silver to express his displeasure. He was frustrated the league stars were sitting out marquee national broadcasts. The executive pleaded his case to the league officials, and he said he didn't receive much pushback. With no new media deal on the horizon, the executive believed the NBA didn't have much impetus to act. But the NBA has spent the past year trying to unwind the issues that piled up as a result of load management the fall. The league stated that data does not support that as a way to prevent injury, introducing more vigorous player participation models to keep stars on the floor. And with the media deal running out after the 24-25 season and the exclusive 45-day negotiation window opening tomorrow, talks can begin. And there is a belief that the logic that the NBA needs to highlight its media rights deal, the deal could help determine its economic health for the next deal. There's actually a fear that the NBA is going to lose money in the next new media deal. I don't know if you know this, Henry. Like, there's a legit fear. Like, we thought we were getting the thought was we were getting a $7 to $10 billion deal, but with the merging of the sports broadcasters, they're going to lower. They're like, the whole reason they do that is to not have to bid as much because now they're not competing. And then the other one was that I mean, just in sports in general, people aren't watching sports anymore. Okay. Like, there's going to be a point, like, money can't sports. I've read articles, like legit research papers, where it's like the revenue that in football and the NBA will stop. Like, they will plateau and then it will go down at some point because, like, people will start, like, you'll max out your market and then, like, and stuff like that. But either way, so players will share the wealth. CBA guarantees that they get this. I'm trying to see. So Jaylen Brown wants to see the threshold lowered to 58 games. He believes players should play the majority of games, and he says he and earn award recognitions, but he says 65 is still, a little too severe. While he values the rule just for the MVP award, but nothing else, Curry said. And then it was saying that the rule changes are working. If you're seeing that Kawhi has missed just 5 games, AD has played in all but 4 games. Jokic missed 8 games to this point last season, but has missed only 2 this year. Embiid and Haliburton has become the face of the rule. Haliburton missed 10 games in an 11-game stretch last month because of a hamstring, putting him 5 shy away from the All-NBA disqualification. And he came back under restriction, and now his first 4 games back, he's played 20 to 22, narrowly above the 20-minute minimum set by the CBA to count towards the rule. Embiid's injury gave some high profile impression. The reigning. Okay, first off, I hate that they're adding Embiid here because Embiid did not get hurt because of the rule. He got hurt because Jonathan Kuminga fell on his leg. It was a freak accident. He, like, if he was hurt, or regardless of not, if he was having knee pain, if someone falls on your fucking knee like that, your knees, you're gonna get some damage to your knee when someone at like 220 pounds falls on your knee and you're fucking 300 pounds. Am I wrong?
Yeah, he still shouldn't have been out there though.
I don't know. Fuck that. Because, like, just like you could, everybody, like I said, they could have done this 10 years ago. People weren't fucking complaining. Andrew Bynum had bow legs, okay, bow legged knees, and he fucking still played until his body gave out. And I'm not saying Andrew Bynum's great. I'm just saying they could have done it before. Joel Embiid did not get hurt because he was out there. Joel Embiid got hurt because of a freak play. Okay. It could have
Sure,
been
but
it could have been the first game of the season. He still would have got hurt if Kuminga fell on his leg.
sure, but he just still shouldn't have been out there since he was hurt.
He wasn't though. If he could run, he could play. I personally believe you're hurt if I physically cannot move. Okay, if I can't move and play, okay, then I'm hurt. I'm on a I've always but if I can move, if I can still operate 75, 60, 50%, I'm out there. That's how it should be.
Yeah, well, we just disagree. If Embiid's at 50, I don't want him out there.
I want him out there. I pay you fucking $40 million, $60 million. That's like
Yep, that's a respect. I respect that opinion.
it's just I'm paying you that money. Like if I we have the medical improvements. If I talk to a doctor and they tell me he can fucking play, we can play. If they tell me obviously, hey, it's RG3 situation, I'm not putting him out there. Obviously, you know. I think RG3 had like a severely like sprained knee or whatever. I don't even like. I think he had like a borderline torn ACL already, and they put him out there like with a sprained ACL, which they shouldn't have. But like, if you're telling me, oh, his knee is sore, so like he can play, just don't play him 40 minutes, just play him like 20, 24. Okay, let's do that. You come out, you'll play 6 minutes. We'll put you in the next quarter 6 minutes, third quarter 6 minutes, fourth quarter, or maybe
Yep,
third we won't play you, and we'll just keep you for the fourth, and you just play the entire fourth. There you go. You played 12 in the first half, and then you played the final fourth quarter. Okay, and we got you to rest the whole third.
for sure. Philly could have been much smarter about it.
I just, I mean, I think that's just for anybody. But so Silver said this fall, he didn't worry about infringing on teams' operations. I'm just trying to get to the part of this part where it's seemingly okay. So the rules set in place through the entire CBA, unless the league and the union agree collectively to strip or change it. Dumore says there's no other possible rule tweaks on the agenda. And I mean, Jaylen Brown's one of the vice presidents, and he says he doesn't think so, and he has no regrets. I personally think. All right, so what the article I think is alluding is too many people are getting max contracts. It was feeling like it was getting too easy for people to get max contracts, and we're like what year 7 into max contracts. Max got introduced in 2017, 2018, or 2018, 2019. So yeah, I think yeah, too many people were getting max contracts. It was becoming too easy, and you were starting to. I think the NBA wants it that there's only one max contract on each team, and I think that's the big thing. I think they want one max contract.
Does the new rule about wait, are all NBA teams positionless?
I think they did make them positionless.
Do you think that makes do you think that's going to lead to worse players being max eligible? Or do you think it's going to lead to only the best players being max eligible?
Um, I think it's. I think it'll negatively affect bigs. I think everybody else will be fine. I don't think it'll affect anybody except centers.
Yeah,
There's
my mate. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say there's just like only 3 centers that you could say are capable of being all NBA. So it's gonna push out like Domantas Sabonis, who could have been a third team all NBA guy, or like besides Jokic, Embiid, and like
Yeah,
like you're now like those two are gonna be perennial and all NBA guys healthy. But Karl Anthony Towns, Domantas Sabonis, Paulo Banchero, uh, right now Wemby and Holmgren, all these guys that in the next year or two they could have been like third team all NBA centers. They get screwed because they're not as good as the other players in terms of at other positions and if it's positionless.
so
You
then you'll
know?
have arguably better players that will qualify, which is good. It's a good little tweak.
Yeah, no, it is going to be good players, but at the same time, there's a part of me that like you're screwing over players that are
A position.
a position in terms of who's the third because it's the third best center in the NBA is always changing. So like
Yeah,
Uh,
my only stance on the max contract situation is that I think that if in a contract year like this for Halliburton, something happens, because the worst thing you really want is him rushing back and re-aggravating his hamstring. Like if he becomes truly the poster boy for this rule, that would suck. So I think that what you should have is the ability for his contract to ascend into a max tier if he qualifies for All NBA sometime throughout the length of his next contract.
Makes sense. You want to hear something weird that got announced
Would you like that
yesterday?
idea or no?
No, no, I said makes sense. I like it. It's a
Oh,
good idea. I
yes,
was,
go for it.
Isaiah Livers out for the season with inflamed capsule joints in his hip, and he hasn't played a game for the Wizards.
Yeah, they announced that they were proceeding with an abundance of caution. I think they just don't want to play him. They got too many other dudes that they're going to try to give run to.
Yeah, it's 25. So what am I? Oh, I suppose he's extremely painful what he could be going through, and it's a very uncommon condition. It's called frozen hip.
Maybe he's dealing with something career altering, man. But I
Yeah,
think they either way, he's the back end of that log jam for them.
I'm literally reading off the National Institute of Health. Adhesive capsulitis of the hip is a rare clinical entity, similar to what happens in the shoulder. It's increasingly painful. It decreases an active and passive range of motion in the due to inflammation in acute state. It's a disease supposedly. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, like at least 3 months is the minimum it's saying right here, non-surgical. And then if that doesn't work, you have to get surgery. Holy fuck. So it's basically the capsule surrounding the hip joint, like starts to break down the hip cartilage. All right. And it's basically very similar to hip arthritis. That's fucked.
Pray, pray for the
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah. So like here, I'll show you a video. This is basically from what I'm reading, from what they're saying, like this is a normal joint. This is like what's happening to him. He's basically suffering something that like people in their senior citizens suffer. Like basically, it hurts to walk. That's fucked, dude. That's fucked.
That's my
Oh,
future for real. My family has horrible hips. Everybody.
really? I'm very thankful. I've never my dad was super active when I grew up, or like his whole life. So he had to get rotator cuff surgery on both of them, but that's like because he was like super active and just age. But yeah, no, I'm very thankful that no, I just saw deafness runs in my family. But yeah. Alrighty, so let's go ahead. Let's talk MVP. Who's your MVP vote?
Hmm.
I got Shay. It's easy done.
Yeah, I'm deciding between Shea or Luca. I guess just for the sake of an entertaining show, I'll say Luca. I think that both would be excellent MVPs. As you know, I love Shea's two-way activity. He's leading the best team in the West. I think that's rare, and he's dropping 30 every night.
No, I agree. I agree. And yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I just don't have anybody else who's gonna catch Shay unless Shay gets hurt. I think this is Shay.
I just think that the case for Luca is that they still brought in players that like are not necessarily stars, but that fit him perfectly, and he enables them, and he enables everybody, and he does it pretty amazingly while also dropping 40 himself. He's played at an MVP level in the past. I think he is an MVP caliber player, so deserving of a vote.
I agree, and I think the only person, I mean, Luca. If Luke, I will give Luca the benefit if Luca continues. to fucking just be this app like an absolute insane performances. I mean, obviously, I think the last game or so not been the greatest, but if he continues to be on this heater and this team just goes on a run, I could see Luca pushing it. Luca has been kind of fucking insane to finish the year, but it is pretty wild. What do you think of Luca? Do you think he could catch Shea?
Yes, I voted for him.
What do you mean?
He was my MVP.
Oh, really?
Luca?
Yeah,
Yeah. I said at least for the sake of an entertaining show, I'm picking him as my MVP.
I didn't realize that.
Uh,
All right, let's move over to defense. Who's your defensive player of the year? I have Rudy Gobert, baby.
Sam.
And that one's pretty. If you're watching basketball, everybody knows Rudy Gobert is back. I can't give Victor Wembanyama defensive player of the year as a fucking rookie.
Man, would you put him on the all defensive first team though?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
yep, I'm with you.
Jared Allen though, it's been insane. Have you been watching Jared Allen?
I have.
He's probably like third place. I'm like not even kidding. You don't seem like you're in agreement with me.
Well, I mean, I think it's slightly tough to evaluate when he does play alongside Mobley or when he like idealistically plays alongside Mobley. But yeah, they were clamps and it was just him.
True.
But yeah, maybe I hadn't given him quite that love.
Yeah,
But
I don't think you were.
but I mean, third versus fourth versus second in the deploy race. So I don't know. I can't say it's been top of my mind. I do like Rudy. I'm happy he's bounced back. He's leading the best defense in the league. Where is Cleveland ranking in that affair?
They were
They
top
still
five.
top. Oh,
They're top five. I think they were number one, number two at one point. It changes every week though, between Oklahoma, Minnesota, and Cleveland. There's
they
like the
are.
top three.
Yep, they are. They're second. Minnesota leaps and bounds, and then Cleveland tight with Boston.
And then is fourth Oklahoma then?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Those are like your top four defenses in the NBA. It's been all
five.
season that way.
Yep, and five with Orlando. They've been really top five, top six all season too. They're going to be good when they can shoot.
They just flounder some games. But
Wow,
what?
they've actually improved dramatically, jumping from
Well,
29th in effective field goal percentage to 20th over the past month.
yeah, but what was I was getting out, they just floundered some games in sense of the beginning of the year. As of late, they've gotten really sharp defensively, but to the middle of the year to like the beginning of the year, we didn't look as good as defensively as we had last year or that we do now.
But that's a huge climb in offensive efficiency.
Yeah, I think that's partially because like our young guys are learning how to fucking shoot, and we're not shooting as many threes. We're like, I think we gave up on shooting as many threes, and we're shooting more at the rim.
Well, understatement, yeah. I think it's Franz though. Franz has been cooking.
Mm-hmm. All right, last topic I want to talk about before we get out of here. Who is your with the Celtics and seemingly either the Timberwolves or Thunder being the top teams in their respective conferences? Which team outside of those three teams do you expect to finish the year the strongest on either
In
conference? Either conference, you can
like
do one.
we're talking regular season or like season, everything.
Every everything. Who do you think could be the biggest threat to each of either the Timberwolves or Thunder or the Celtics in their respective conferences?
Celtics.
No, who's the biggest threat to the Celtics? Is it the Cavs? Is it the Knicks? Is it the Bucks? And who's the biggest threat to the Minnesota Timberwolves or the Thunder? Is it the Mavs? Is it the Nuggets?
Man, I want to say it's the Knicks, but they just keep getting crushed by Boston. Um,
I think it's the Cavs. I think it's the Cavs, man.
I'm gonna go with the Knicks.
I'm going with the Cavs. I want it to be the Knicks, but the Cavs are on a vengeance tour.
They are. I've been thinking about the Cavs lately because I love that. Like I think that the I am a fan on in theory of the Garland Mitchell backcourt because I like that one of them can always be out there. I love that Garland can like initiate actions and like get people moving, and then you swing to Donovan, and Donovan can work with like a scrambling defense. But Darius Garland has just been bad this year. You know,
Is he?
he has struggled. He struggled with turnovers, not shooting efficiently.
He's been hurt all year.
I guess he's played at least the last like 15 games, probably though.
It hasn't
So,
feel
but
like
other than that, I really do like Cleveland. I guess if Strus is going to start playing better, that's huge. But I don't
I
think
just
that.
think they're playing so fucking well with like multiple players not at their best. Like Garland, clearly he's a guy that we know what he is. Okay. And if he can just get back to what he is, holy fuck, how much better they'll be. All right. Then you got yourself like on this team. You got another group of guys like Struess. Can he be more consistent? You got Jordan Yang, Akuro, Levert, all those guys. I just think for you still got Dean Wade on this team. I mean, is there no backup center? Yes, but you got Evan Mobley, who's also dishing. Evan Mobley, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you've been paying attention. First off, Evan Mobley's shooting way more threes. You missed three last night, but just in general, he's been like offensively way better than like he has. I mean, obviously post All-Star break, it's not fitting my narrative, but in 11 games through February, he has put up 16 points a night. All right. And shooting 61% from the field and 47% from three on 1.5 attempts a game, grabbing 10 rebounds and 3 assists. And if you look back in November before he got hurt, in 15 games in November, he was shooting 61% from the field. The 3-point percentage was got awful, but he's putting up 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal, and 17 points a night.
Yep, I liked that the volume was there. I had not realized that the volume was there,
Yeah,
or
he's
at
putting
least growing. You know.
yeah, he's putting over 11 shots a game now. I mean, the start of the season, he was trying to put up 14 shots a game. They're really telling him to shoot the ball.
But he still wasn't. That was when he wasn't putting up any threes. That was when it was all just like elbow jumpers
Yeah,
and whatnot.
but now he's going out there and being more consistent. He shot more threes since coming back from injury than he has in the past 2 years.
Evolution. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Cleveland. I like Cleveland. I think that they could push Boston. I'm just a huge fan. Although, this Knicks team, odds are looking worse and worse that they will get healthy in time. OG Anunoby has still
Yeah.
not touched the basketball, so they could
No,
start running out of time in the next couple of weeks.
no, I agree. I think Dallas for the West is the obvious one, right?
I still have, you're talking outside of the Timberwolves and Thunder.
Yeah.
I still got the Clippers over Dallas.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah. Clippers. Yeah, you're right there. All right. That's it. That's my thoughts. You got any closing thoughts?
Mike Conley is taking 83% of his threes unguarded this season. Leads the league among qualifiers.
That's insane. Also, he's never had a tech in 18 years.
Hmm.
Everybody's been saying that stat. Ever since you told me that stat, I've seen that stat twice on a broadcast, once on Twitter. I
Yeah,
guess
I don't know. I don't know why exactly it started blowing up, but it has been everywhere.
where'd you see it?
I mean, I've seen it on where like originally.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know.
I guess like people fucking love that. I mean, also, let's be honest. You know how hard it is to get a fucking tech? Like, in terms of if you like the only reason you get a tech in today's NBA is either for fucking just being impulsive and like blowing up on a ref. Like basically blowing up emotionally is how you get a tech in today's NBA. Either at a ref, physically, like a tech is just you like basically you just couldn't control your emotions.
Yeah, or or
Yeah.
you're or you're flexing on people and shit.
Yeah, or flexing. But again, that's not controlling your emotions. After you make a big play, you start taunting people. Like I'm more the I'm
You're
more the
what?
type I was gonna
Oh,
say more the type of person that like I'm like a Mike Conley route. Like, bro, if I'm gonna taunt you or like flex, I don't need to like fucking flex or anything. My silence, my
yep. I'm,
demeanor.
I'm balling and I'm heading down the other way.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yep.
I
Me
don't
too.
need to I don't need to chirp or anything. Like, yeah. Like I might have fun or laugh, but yeah, I've never been the type of person. To just start chirping or like to do the. I don't do that. I hate that.
That's because if people then did it back to you, you would like you would lash out at them because
Nah,
you seek confrontation. If someone did it back to you, bro, they would
nah. I
fucking
would.
they would rile you up.
Nah, nah, nah. I wouldn't be bad. I also, if someone did that to me, I'd be like, bro, we are playing pickup basketball. I would look at them. I'd be like, bro, guess what time it is? We're playing at the rec. Like, like,
Yeah, but
like you.
that's like the antithesis of what people do, like as opposed to
I don't think anyone
your
does that. I've never played a pickup basketball game in
yeah.
my life that people do that because I would like anyone who does that. You clearly didn't play basketball growing up.
Oh, no
Like,
way. My friends and I, when we hoop in the summer, we're always chirping at each other.
really? Yeah,
Oh
no.
yeah.
Like when I went to KU and like we get like legit runs with like guys who all play in high school. Like, nah, there's like no chirping like that. Like the most like you get mad at is like when you play people like black people or like people from the city. They fucking call fouls like it's the NBA on like anything you do is a foul towards them, but they can do whatever. Like it fucking
Oh,
pisses.
that is the absolute worst.
Okay, it's always kids from the city that like, oh, I'll guard them. They'll be like, oh, you're reaching in, you're reaching in. And then when I go in, they'll literally be fucking fouling the shit out of me. And if I say one thing, once I get annoyed about it, they'll be like, oh,
Nah, bro.
soft, you soft, bro. You calling all
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be like, I was like, look, let's just not call any fouls. Okay, let
And
me
there's
just
nothing you can do about it because they're just gonna get more heated.
yeah. And then they're like, yeah, that happens all the time when you play kids from the city. So fucking stupid. I'm done. I'm done. Have a good day, guys.